welcome to the Halo Heritage Hair Diaries. And I know for a fact that this is the first one, but I am pretty sure, and I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar on it, that it won't be the last one, right? With me, I have got the fiercest of African entertainment warriors. Basically names that make a statement, like complete sentences, full stop. Naledi, full stop. Thickleeyonce, full stop. Adera Kachienga, full stop. Muesli, full stop. Lerato, full stop. And then of course a lady who constantly reminds us that you need to own your throne. Boity, Thulo, full stop. So you're probably wondering why I call this intervention today. It's like your parents when they call an intervention. What do I do? Did I feel nuts again? No, it's not like that. And I like the fact that you're always going on, Boity, that we must own our throne. And the thing about a throne is that it comes with a crown.
Yeah.
And the thing about a crown as African women is that it's your hair, right? It comes in many forms. It is, it is executed in many forms. And I think that's what makes us so special is the fact that, on a random Friday, you could rock 10 different hairstyles. Oh, yes. I mean, we are ready for witness protection.
100%.
I mean, come on, right? And this is why it was so important for us to come around here. And, this is great work that you're doing. And I hope that you don't get tired because this is really your calling.
We're just starting.
You're good to get us to just speak about the things that made us feel uncomfortable about our hair. I mean, I remember every time there was a sports day, at school, my mom wouldn't care if you've got tackies, okay? She wouldn't care if you've got your right netball skirt. She'd be like, what are you going to do with your hair? Mom, and you say that's true. Do you find that our parents also put their struggles and, their unnecessary pressure when it comes to our hair?
I think it's dependent on the environment that they grew up in. I mean, for some parents, they grew up in an environment, I can just speak for myself, and specifically my mom, she grew up in an environment where she was told to appreciate her hair. My grandmother always had her hair short and simple and neat, and my mom has always been like that. So I think it was passed down to me, and that's how I got to kind of start my hair journey, because as we grow up as young girls, we kind of look to our mothers to kind of, give us that inspiration and just give us that guidance to navigate, the world that we're in. So for me, my mom was just like, okay, as long as it looks neat and tidy and, because she was working full time, let's get you to a salon, let's put cornrows, let's, put the hair in the twist, with the string that you have to string it up. So it's just easy to manage. But I think they kind of, put their what's the right word? I'm trying to
their past experiences on you.
Whether it be positive or negative.
Now you touched on something when you said as long as it's neat and tidy, because now that's a whole other conversation. Because many black girl will tell you in corporate South Africa, your boss, if you walk in like that, you're at a bank.
It would have been madness when I walked in with lots. Thank God I don't work in corporate, to be honest. But I think that was always a massive point of contention, even in school, where if they said your natural hair, I'll never forget, my high school said, don't come in your natural hair, it's too excitable. If you had your afros out, it was the word excitable was used. And I remember thinking, what is it? Literally excitable. At the same time, then you watch Adera Kachienga, who comes out and she's standing for black girls and she's fighting for the right to wear her hair naturally. And I'm also looking at her, I'm saying, you know what, I can't believe she's 14 or 15 years old with so much strength and belief in herself to fight for it. Because at that age, I just kept quiet and I carried on, okay, cool, I'll corner my hair. But it's nice now that we're coming into this stage where, they're starting off younger, and we're all starting to really realize like the value and the beauty in our look.
So Thickleeyonce, we were speaking earlier on about who you saw that represented you when you're growing up, with your hair, and I was saying, for me it was Brooke Logan. In the Born the Beautiful, that's the hair because that's the person you knew. I know, right? I looked to Brooke Logan for hair and lingerie, but now Brooke was always in some lingerie. And then within time, time, I remember Days of Our Lives then introduced Lexi. Remember Lexi, the doctor? She had flowy hair. And for some odd reason, I couldn't understand why me, as an 8-year-old black girl, doesn't have hair like Lexi. You know, for you, who was that first person that when you saw them, it was like a mirror effect, like, oh, there I am?
It was, as a kid, it was Rihanna. And now this was terrible because this was during razor cut days, right? And I had such a struggle with my hair because I felt like my hair wasn't growing fast enough.
Yeah.
And everyone else around me had this long, relaxed, beautiful hair, got a fringe and everything. And my hair was not growing. So I remember finding pieces of weave. God knows where I found them. And I used super glue and I stuck in.
What the heck?
Just to have that, you know, and I went to school like that. I remember it was the biggest joke. Like super glue. My best friend was like,
What's going on?
dude, like, what's happening? And then I had to chop off all my hair. And I couldn't believe how beautiful I looked without hair. I was like, oh my God, who is that? She's so pretty. And then I had Lalas. I know Nomuzi at some point. Like, you know,
Which one is Lalas? Oh, the one that's like
relaxed, flat hair.
Yes.
You know, and I really, I think that was my first experience of I'm beautiful and I'm not my hair. Like, I don't need long hair. I don't need any sort of Rihanna hairstyle to be beautiful. And that was the first time I shaved off all my hair, and I just couldn't believe how pretty I looked.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she touches on something, you know, in terms of like, I put on my natural hair and I couldn't believe that was me.
Yeah.
Lerato, do you ever have struggles? Because that's another thing when we have natural hair. People are always like, oh, don't you struggle to style it? You know, and I look at your hair now, I'm like, what could one possibly be struggling?
It's like, you know, that's a kind of important egg. It's basically you apply logic. You cannot ask me how hard it is for me to style my hair. I've had this hair my whole life. So at some point I've had to equip myself with the skills to kind of manage it, you know, and it's nothing to be managed actually, you know. So I've never really struggled with that. I've always given a very simple and straightforward answer when it comes to that. And having been in the beauty industry, my job was to educate people about how to handle their hair. So I would take more of an educational approach rather than a know-it-all approach. And that I've known it all my whole life, you know. So your hair is actually a journey, and people go through various turns and to get to a place where they feel like, you know what, I'm actually enjoying my hair right now, whether it's relaxed or natural.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate to what you're both saying, because I also in high school had to very suddenly cut my hair because I did pomade, braids, dye, light. I did it. And then my dad gave me 700 rand to do my hair, and the lady at the salon said, "Nomuzi, I didn't know what I wanted to do." She said, because you know the salon. Take, you know. And it was 20 rand to cut my hair. Wow. My dad gave me 700.
I do the maths.
I said, you know, 680. Let me just do this. And I remember coming into the industry, I really labeled myself as your favorite ball chick. Because I was cognizant of the fact that there are thousands of people in this line. They have to remember me somehow. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you remember, but oh, there was that chick, she was good, but you won't remember her name or whatever. But if I instantly tell you that I'm your favorite ball chick Muslim, you're going to remember it instantly, you know? So that was the decision for me. It wasn't really like a crazy woke moment of like, I am, you know? And I feel like sometimes when you wear your natural hair, people expect you to be
that.
this like, So when I then decided to grow my hair, not because of I wanted to change and whatever, I just would put together outfits and I'm like, do you know how dope this would look with a high pony?
But now
wear something like, oh, I wish I could just have my hair long, straight, just for the look, because it just felt like a look and a thing.
Did you not feel that people felt betrayed by you because you were our favorite ball chick?
Now you sold it. We're convinced. We're like,
also, black women, we're the only ones who are, you know, kept back because of our hair. You know, you're not allowed to change your hair. This is you. So did you feel that, you know, even in the decision to put know, a wig on, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna lose 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Dude, people were hacked.
devastated. What is she doing? Just devastated.
It's Seuoe. It was just like, no, I really just wanted to switch it up. If you know me, you know that I love to just have fun with the way that I look, the way that I dress, with its jewelry. makeup or whatever the case may be. So I really just wanted to take that step in the hair direction. And for me, I never thought about my hair too much growing up because my mom always had good hair so good that she wasn't too worried about other people's hair because she was killing it. Like, you happy as a child?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, whatever. So whatever. But she wasn't overly hectic about our hair and the way we looked. The salon was more a place where we used to go hang out with Usis Kapsili, who used to plait our hair.
Yeah, like a Sunday experience.
Yeah.
So I need 3 words from you then, Boity. 3 words that you would use to describe your hair journey, and where you are now.
3 words, gosh. The first would be royal, a crown.
Yeah.
Enough. For me, your hair is enough. I feel like we add on so many connotations to our hair journey, which makes it difficult. So for me, anything is enough. As you want it, it's enough. And also just beautiful.
Yeah.
Royal, enough, beautiful. For me, those are the 3 words I would say wrap up what my hair journey is.
Can I get your words?
For me, diverse. In that I can literally like muesli.
Yes.
Excuse my muesli. I was saying is that I can change up my hairstyle. I can have 5 different hairstyles in one day. Exciting. And and it's vivacious. I mean, it just, when you have, whether it's a weave or a wig, or you have that hairstyle, it just gives you that oomph, it gives you that confidence, to take on whatever environment that you're in. So I think those are my 3 words.
Thickleeyonce, what's the greatest compliment you've ever received about your hair?
Eek. That's a good one. I don't think I pay attention to hair compliments. Because, like I said, I'm not my hair. If I feel good, that's enough. Because most of the compliments will probably come from a wig. Like, oh, girl, that lace is lace. But, because I'm not like a natural hair person, or I literally only keep my hair this length. But I get most compliments about you look beautiful when I don't have any hair. Because it's a nice switch up, because I'm always in a weave or braids. And then when I don't have hair, and I'm going to post an Insta story today with my hair, I'm like, oh my God, keep it. And I think I always get that, like, you look the prettiest without any hair, like with your short hair. And I think that's the most compliment that I get about my natural hair.
When I cut my hair short, the most compliments I got about cutting everything off was from older people, right?
Yes, older people.
And then I was like, y'all ain't cool, I don't want your compliment. I want Jabu to tell me
I would always go to Hyde Park, right in Keys, when they used to have a shop in Hyde Park. Yeah. And let me say, the kind of people that go to Hyde Park.
Yeah, cool.
Tweed.
Rich, white lady, together, looking nice. She just stop me and be like, and at that time, I come in my shorts, like, bad bitch. For like a better word, And they just be like, a girl who can just shake all her hair off and just rock it like that. That's amazing. Just absolutely gorgeous.
You belong to a magazine.
They don't even know that I'm muesli. They're just thinking like, look at this girl.
Features.
Exactly.
That whole statement, a woman who changes her hair is about to change her life.
Yes.
Do you not feel that there's a lot of pressure on that? Because sometimes I just want to change my hair. Why are we so bound by that statement? Because, now you're so scared to make a change because you're like, oh, that means I need to buy a house to get a new boyfriend. Get a dog. Where's the passport? I need to leave the country. Don't you feel like it's a heavy statement to make?
It puts you under pressure. You're talking about, something that grows out of your head. Imagine being a black woman, your hair is so political that when you do anything to it, people genuinely react in such absolute shock. White women do they all the time, highlight them, what, carry on. Nobody really notices anything. We do anything and it's like an extreme reaction. And the interesting thing about it is I always think that, the reaction that people have to our hair is even even with our hair, if we're talking about South African 4C, because a lot of us are 4C here, right? We're not talking about Trinidadi curl, where it's a soft twist and, you know, it's a 3C. And then the guys say, oh, I just want to see you do natural. Exactly, yeah, just a spray and go, ha, ha, ha. Like, no, it's not like that. It takes a little bit more effort, and that's fine. But the problem is everybody else's, like, view. Now they want you to look natural, and when you say you're going natural, they expect that look. And you're like, no. Now I'll show you. This is a 4C. This is a Southern African 4C kink, malleable, curl ass. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I don't like it when this pressure comes on when you do anything.
It's too much. It's a lot.
Can we break down those numbers just a little bit for us people who
for the understanding?
I just nodded. I was like, yeah, finish me. I know what you're talking about. And then I was gonna go home and Google
like I see a lot of these tutorials coming up, and genuinely it's beautiful and it's dope. But like, I know probably the color of the hairpiece that I use, color 4.
Okay.
So what are these numbers?
Okay, so if you're talking about on the hair spectrum, right? If you're starting from 3, that's like already when you're starting in the curl family, and that's like mixed race or in other humid areas, looser curls. Like when you get into the 4, she would be a 3, so she'd either be like a 3B, 3C. Then you're sitting in the 4 family. The 4 category that's when you're black. That's when you're black. It's a tight kink. Is that what it's a coil? It's a kink. It's not tough. It's the one that you can really flat and it's not going to go soft. It's not, the hair's not going to slide out. That's when you do a protective style and it makes sense on that hair to do a protective style. Thank you very much for coming with the protective style.
But wait, then. Okay, so I want to go protective one. Yeah. The 4C. The 4C is us. But that's us. So who's most prone to shrinkage?
Oh, 100% 4C. Definitely. You're even looking at the 4 family within Africa. If you're looking at the top of Africa, you're saying Nigeria and Ghana. They're humid. It's humid, so their hair it's 4, and it's a 4C and a 4B, but their texture is stronger. It's different. It's richer. It's richer. It's in the family, but it's not as dry as.
So give me 5.
I mean,
there's no 5.
Honestly, I would call I would swear I'd push us a 4D. I would be like a 4D, 4C. A 5 if there was a thing. But
and I feel like also when you run your hair via that relaxer,
then you complicate your textures.
Like
100%.
In addition to that, you can have different curl types on the same head.
Yes.
So you're not always completely the same curl type everywhere.
100%.
And so
like in the middle
you
can be a 4B
and in terms of even like finding products, some of the product can work on the one part of your hair and not on the other. So it's literally
complicated.
Finding
but when I go to the store to buy hair products, it doesn't say this is 4-3. Like literally, it's just natural hair or black hair, full stop.
Yeah.
So what does this
Where does the guidance come from?
What does this information do for me?
Testing and trying.
Exactly. Trying and error all the way. And following
the hair mask. And I thought like,
hair mask?
I feel a hair mask. Like I just let it sit in my head.
What does the hair mask do?
What does it do?
Is hair mask like stain conditioner?
It's an intense moisturizing treatment. Just like.
But wait, now here we are, because remember for a very long time in our lives we were relaxing and then you were straightening and then you were so where are we in terms of like the global hair natural movement in products that work for us, and products that don't want to fix us? This is the thing. I have an issue with most, and this was me, like when my anger hit about my hair, I just felt that every product wants to fix me, like there's something wrong with my hair. So it's not embracing,
the form in which your hair goes.
This is what you look like. So, Lerato, tell us, because you say this is also your field. Where are we in terms of that?
Technically, I feel like if you are still, as a 4C girl, wearing a protective hairstyle that somehow loosens your curl or manipulates your curl, you are still manipulating the natural texture of your hair. So we're not very far off. We might have moved away from chemicals, but we are still undergoing things that are manipulating the natural curl of our hair. So in some way, we are not wearing our hair as naturally as we can, especially when it's longer, because we're trying to find a way that it feels more manageable. I can comb it easier, I can run my hair through it easier, or it wears easier. But in that, you are still engaging in a technique that manipulates the curl. Whether you eliminate the heat or the chemical.
But isn't that the beauty beauty of it in the sense that when your hair actually grows out, whether it's an afro, you can put braids and you take it out, your hair can create that.
Absolutely, and it's not taking away from the technique as a whole. What I'm trying to say is, as much as we're going away from taking chemicals to relax it or process it, we are still engaging in things that are manipulating the natural curl pattern. Yeah.
But I think it's important for us to, even conversations like this, to have these conversations so that we're comfortable with anything to do with our hair. I feel like we're saying, there's always a fuss about what we have to do with our hair. So I think it's okay to continue the narrative of the fact that you can do anything with your hair. It doesn't have to be a certain way. And if you're manipulating it, no, you're not. You're just doing whatever you want to do with your hair.
Testing.
Yes. And whatever. You know,
hair like not be political.
Shouldn't be a thing.
I feel like it's good as Black women because for the longest time, like you were saying, our hair's been wanting to be corrected. And it's all good that you want to wear your hair politically and this is my hair, it's a statement, it's political. That's you, but don't force everyone into that ideology that honestly, why are you wearing a weave? You're a Black girl, you hate yourself.
I said that
it's not self-hatred.
I said hair's choice. True. It's choice, it's an accessory. No one is better than anyone else. You're not better by keeping your hair natural. You're not better by relaxing it. As long as you're growing a healthy mane that works for you.
As long as you look good.
You like hair, that's all that matters.
You actually still want to relax it. I always say, and you're happy about relaxing it.
If you don't want to, don't do it. But don't make it a thing of everyone must be following this. No, there shouldn't be rules to your hair. There really shouldn't be.
Also, you ladies made a very important point. It's that now we are actually in charge of our narrative in terms of how our hair is. I think also we need to be cognizant of the fact that not everybody is at the same place as you in terms of accepting your hair. So, people will be like, but why is your hair like this? You're going for a meeting or you're going for an interview. Why are you wearing your hair? They just haven't reached that stage yet. And you should be okay to address that and say, hey, let me educate you and say, hey, you know what? This is my hair journey. This is where I am right now. And that will also get people around you to kind of understand that process. Because not everybody is at the point where they accept their hair as it is now. You know what I mean? They have gone through experiences that has made it, quite difficult for them to be like, okay, I need to accept my hair as it grows.
Like what you're saying is true. Like what's sad for me is when you think about all the people who were left out of experiences by other judgmental people because of their hair, or even more sad, like they decided to sit out of things because they just thought, my hair is not gonna come together the way I need, so rather let me sit this one out. I think it's really great that we are in a place where, and we also have to thank the developments in technology, and in the world, that the messages that we're getting are a lot stronger, a lot prouder than before. The messages that we were getting growing up, it was about being relaxed and serious.
You know what I mean?
Miss SA now.
Well, exactly.
Look at Miss SA now and Miss SA 10 years ago.
True.
But Miss Universe.
But that's the thing with things like that. When a girl walks in and she's beautiful, and then you'll hear like, oh, what are we gonna do with her hair? And I'm like, why don't you wait till you find out who she is? Before you run ahead of her. Like, no, but her cheeks and her nose is like this. So I think I want her in a high. I'm like, why don't you wait for her to tell you? To tell you that. And I feel like we're constantly having to call ADT security around our hair because now you're like, there's boundaries. Here's another boundary that I want us to discuss: the touching of hair.